Welcome to God of Hope. This is Will Sanchez. Thank you for tuning in. My special guest today is Dr. Ramin Tabib. Tabib or not Tabib? I like that. I met Dr. Ramin, or Dr. Tabib, in an interesting way. I posted on Facebook that I was looking for an eye doctor that run. I got recommendations for a cat doctor, and I had him on. He was terrific. And then Ivy Bell chimed in. Well, I don't know any doctor that runs except for my dentist. So I'm thrilled to have a dentist runner here who runs for Urban Athletics, Dr. Ramin Tabib.
Thank you, Will, for inviting me.
Excellent. We're doing a little research about you, and you've got a beautiful website, Smile Design.
NYC Smile Design.
Okay. And you had tutorials and videos. And one caught my eye immediately and had to do with a product or service, actually, conscious sedation. And because, believe it or not, I'm a nervous user of dental services. Not always the case, but this particular year has been more challenging for me. And I said, well, I need to learn more about this. And that's why I reached out to you. So full disclosure, I am a current customer of Ramin. So as a way of introduction, to introduce your practice, tell us what is conscious sedation and what do you use it for?
Conscious sedation, it's a method that we have in our practice to really ease the process for a lot of patients to go through dentistry. I don't know too many people who are extremely comfortable with being a dentist. It's a common fear for everyone. So conscious sedation is just giving a couple of sort of like a Valium type medication that you come in an hour before. We give it to you and you just sit and relax for an hour. You're conscious, you can respond to commands, you're not out. And during the whole process, we're monitoring your vitals, making sure everything's going smooth. So you're basically are able to reduce all anxiety and tension. That's what prevents patients from getting numb a lot of times. If you are stressed, you are releasing cortisol, and cortisol fights with the anesthetic. So some patients tell us like, oh, I never get numb. My dentist never gets me numb. Well, yeah, you can't get numb if you're nervous and if you're anxious and if you have anxieties about dentistry. So you're always releasing so much cortisol that fights with the anesthetic. So yeah, it's hard to get you to relax. And from a selfish point of view, I want patients to be relaxed because I work in a very meticulous setting and I need to have my patients to be really, really relaxed.
It worked for me beautifully.
Glad it worked for you.
Yes. Like you said, I came in an hour before, and before I knew it, all I could remember was open wide.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember,
Right.
And I was totally relaxed. And you guys were very kind. Your front office is beautifully trained.
Did you remember much after?
I think maybe 2 people worked on me because I remember a beautiful woman's voice. It sounded like an angel. Maybe it was your wife.
It was my wife, probably. Yes,
She has a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And it said, open wide. And I remember opening as wide as possible because I wanted to please my dentist people here.
That's good. And you don't want to remember a lot of the details of what you went through. You just want to remember little things here and there, but you don't want to remember the whole process of what was done in a dental office. That's what makes conscious sedation a little bit easier for some patients.
So you're very much involved with the internet, with the web design, with the follow-up, with the emails, the follow-up on the appointments. You get text messages.
Right.
So you guys are right into the current century.
Yeah, it's a different world. You can't just expect to pick up a phone call and make sure patients come in. Everyone's on their mobile phones and they want to have that instant messaging and know that they're, get reminded about their appointments.
Now,
We're always
the
in
name of your
touch.
practice is NYC Smile Design. The name implies that you specialize in smiles, But you
Yeah.
do actually the complete package.
So we picked this name probably 17, 16 years ago. And at the time was unique, but now it's like so many iterations of that going on. So, but it's our website now, so we can't really change. So it's nycsmiledesign.com. We're been part of the internet and search engine, and people can find us. And it's been great. You know, we try to build a reputation. We really cater to the cases that are really more involved, a little more complicated. It started out as just cosmetic dentistry, and it's really developed into something more than that now. And we do a lot of reconstructive cases, patients who come in with missing teeth and lots of decay. And believe it or not, it happens to a lot of CEOs and people in really industries that really have no time to set for themselves to really even take care of basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that happens with someone like that when something is really dire happening and they come and see us, and then you realize that there's much more going on than just one or two teeth that are breaking down.
Yeah.
And we really have to explain the process of what needs to happen to get them to a healthier state.
Well, that's great. That's great. Now, of course, on TV, now that we have high definition TV, a lot of the network anchors and a lot of the reporters, you notice, one of the first things you notice is, for most of them, how bright white those teeth are, those choppers.
Sure.
And is that some of the things that you do?
I don't really care for that. To me, that's anyone can throw a really bright white porcelain over the teeth that on television may look okay, but honestly, I think it just looks horrendous because it looks like a bunch of white teeth, piano keys.
Piano keys, I like that.
Yeah, and to me, it just doesn't look realistic. For me, it's important that when a patient walks out from my office and has their work done, if they meet someone for the first time, the praise that they would get about their smile is like, wow, I wish I had a smile like yours, not, oh, where did you get your teeth done? To me, that's a really bad sign. If somebody knows that you had your dental work done, and it's really, if you can make it natural, make it beautiful, it should be something that just beautiful dental work.
So that was a great explanation.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go back to the beginning. Tell us where you were born and something about your growing up years.
Sure. I was born in Iran. I came to this country in 1979 at the height of the Iranian Revolution at the time. Most kids don't know what I'm talking about when I tell them that. But I'm sure you know what was going on back then. And
we know Iran because it's always in the news.
Yeah,
nowadays.
we're always in the news.
The revolution, who knows?
Yeah, so we left during that upheaval as religious refugees. I'm Jewish. And then, so we came to the United States, and we have family in the States for a long time. So we've been here before, so we just moved to New York. Well, by way of Jersey, actually. I was there for high school. I was 14 when I moved to the States. Yeah.
And did you speak English?
I did. I went to a American school, actually, in Iran. Yeah. An American school, and then I went to a Catholic school.
In Iran?
In Iran, yes. And people don't know that, but there was a lot of different groups of people. It was a very permissive society, and we had Catholic schools, we had American schools. There was just a lot of Europeans. People used to come there for travel, and so it was...
This is before the revolution?
Yeah, before the revolution. So I had a strange upbringing because I lived in a predominantly Muslim country, and I'm Jewish, and I went to a Catholic school. So you can kind of understand my...
Well, you have interesting mix.
I could be a little bit...
I'm sure current events must tear you apart. The people there are going through very difficult times. We wish we could go back to that Iran that you grew up in before the revolution, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Okay, so here you are in Jersey, you're 14 years old, you went to high school. Were you involved in athletics at that time?
No, I wasn't. I was involved in fitting in the culture because it was a very strange time at the time. There was an Iranian Revolution happening and the American hostage crisis.
Oh, gosh.
So it was very difficult for me as my sister and I, we came here and we went to a school where we're just pretty much only 2 or 3 Iranians. And I remember the fights and singling us out. And, so it was just a matter of survival for me. There was a lot of fighting going on. It wasn't easy. And honestly, I thought I left the revolution for a better country, and I came to a place that I really could not fit in. And I was bullied. And so the high school years were something I just never wanted to remember and wanted to forget. So when I went to college, that's when I think I really blossomed, and it's like, wow, people are accepting me, and this is interesting. Like, I don't have, nobody cares where I'm from any longer. It was very.
Where did you go to college?
I went to SUNY at Binghamton.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. So that when you decided that history was calling you?
I didn't have any inclination of what I wanted to do in college. I was just taking liberal arts. I knew I liked biology, so I had a biology degree, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And I think a friend of mine at the time, he said he wanted to apply for dental school, and he wants to go for an interview. And I said, really interesting. I've never really thought of it. I don't know anyone in my family who's a dentist. I don't know anything about it. So it was at happenstance for me. And I decided to apply, and
which dental school is that?
I went to Columbia University.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
A tough school.
It's a 4-year dental degree program, which is, we take a lot of courses with the medical school. So some of the courses overlap.
So how many years did you study dentistry?
So right after 4 years of college is 4 years of dental school. So, and then it's residency. The residency, I did a general practice residency, which was only a year. After that, I decided to start working and learn about the craft, and that's when I met my wife.
So he's a dentist too, because he's part of the office.
Yes,
Another dentist
my wife's a dentist. We both graduated the same year, and everyone asks us if we went to the same school, which we didn't. My wife went to NYU, and she was top of her class. She's really brilliant. It's interesting how we met. We both had looking for jobs, and we both had an interview on the same day. So we were in the waiting room, waiting to be interviewed. I remember it was like right before 4th of July. So we both were interviewed on that day. And then we found out we both got the job. It was a big, huge practice. And so it was interesting because we just started out as good friends. And
how many years now?
We've been married since 1996.
Is that how many years? 12
so that's
years?
22.
22.
Years.
My math is not so good today.
Yeah.
20.
22
Imagine. Wow, that's 22.
Yeah, it goes by
time
quick.
Flies.
Yeah, when you're having a good time.
Well, I met her, when I was there. She gave me my medication. Very nice bedside manners.
I'll let her know that.
Oh, 22 years. So at some point you opened your practice. How long have you been doing New York City smile design?
So we're in this location about 21 years, 21, 22
okay.
years.
So sounds like
the same time.
Once you got married, you said, honey, we need to...
We knew a space actually that had in the area. I just happened to walk by and I saw a space that's available. And it used to be a dental office before that.
Perfect.
And we just inquired about it and let's do it. It was a matter of, let's just...
You made it happen.
Made it happen.
And you're still there.
In the Upper East Side, yeah. We never bought a practice. We just started from scratch. I didn't want to have anybody's problems and ways of doing dentistry. We really had a philosophy in how we want our practice
built
to
it
be.
from the ground up.
Ground up, and we didn't have any patients. Really, we started out with my uncle and my mom and family. Of course, it's all good, but it just started out that way. But it's not a very profitable way to start.
Well, I don't know. Not too many dentists or doctors advertise on TV, but you never went that route.
We did advertise. We did. We needed to do something to gain traction and momentum and get some patients to see us. So we had to do something. We didn't buy a practice that we can rely on a patient pool that's there.
So what worked for you?
So it was just hard work of advertising, trying this. Maybe small advertisements in magazine and different magazines we were in. And I think our biggest break was we wanted to have a presence on the internet, and we started that out really early, probably about.
Yeah, that worked out beautifully.
Yeah, so we've gone through many iterations of our website, and it's been
beautiful. I wanted to ask of you, I want to take advantage of you being a dentist. You're my first dentist runner. In your practice, in your experience, are there differences between men and women in the sense that are men as equally likely to see you guys as women, or is there a difference?
I would say that most our practice are women. Probably 70% is
Really?
women.
That high?
Yeah, and the reason is men. I'm included in that. I mean, I hardly ever want to be proactive about my health, and even though I am a dentist, you'd think I'd want to. I have something going on. I try to, persevere. But women, I find more proactive, and they want to be taking care of their health. So a lot of times, women come in and they want to have their boyfriend or husbands. But we do have men coming to see us as well. But it's predominantly women.
So they're more likely to brush their teeth after meals and
yeah, we find that like
the cleaning. I think the cleanings recommend like twice a year.
Sure.
So they're the ones who come in for that. The men, you got to pull teeth.
Yeah, they're a little less inclined to be as
well, sounds like a
work.
marketing opportunity. How to get those guys in?
Yeah.
Now you're a runner. Are there any tips that are specific to runners in terms of dentistry and running?
Yeah. So here's my take on runners and dentistry, and not dentistry, but oral health is concerned. Running is very damaging, I think, to your teeth. And I think this might sound bizarre, but it's true. When you run and when you put a lot of miles, your mouth is dry. When your mouth dries up, the bacterial level can rise up, and acid production can even increase, and cavities can be a big problem. If you start out with cavities, a few small ones, and you are a very, very active runner, I would be very careful to make sure that they don't have a lot of, you get your teeth checked and before you embark on much mileage, because drying of the mouth, and not just that, runners are taking replacement gels, and they're taking sports drinks.
Gatorade's probably really sugary. Yeah.
It's really terrible, and these blocks that a lot of runners put between their cheek and just run with it. And what it's doing, it's just slowly releasing sugars in their mouth and causing severe decay. And it works, it really damages the teeth, especially when you're running, because like I said, your saliva flow is really slower. Your mouth is drier. That's when things can really get out of whack.
This is the first time I've heard of this. I've heard of all sorts of tips. Sounds like runners go do that twice a year checkup.
It's really critical. And one of the tips I would say, if you don't ever take those blocks and put it in your cheek and just run with it.
What do you recommend as terms of nutritional gels?
I think nutritional gels are fine. You really have to drink water with it. I think there are new ones that are coming out now that are not as damaging to the teeth as like goo is, and some of these ones.
Really?
Yeah, because they're just high in sugar.
High concentration of sugar. Well, I guess that's what you want. Some people, I had the great marathoner, ultramarathoner, O's Perman. He did Badwater. Horrendously hard run to do.
Yeah, sure, I know about that one.
And he had goose, and the way he took it, he squeezed it to the back of his throat and took it right down right away. He didn't mess with it. He just wanted it inside his system. Is that a good way of avoiding the...
Absolutely. If you can avoid swishing it around your mouth, that's a good tip. Obviously... Yeah. And look for other brands that have a different glycemic potential of causing cavities. For instance, I don't know if I can give names of products. There's a new product called Martin. It's very new, comes from Europe, and I feel like it's not as sticky. It's not very sugar concentrated. I've been using it. And I just don't think it has the potential to cause decay.
This is fascinating. It's something very new to me. It sounds like some of these manufacturers, if they're wise, they'll work with the dental association and get it dental approved.
Sports drinks are another issue, not just because of the sugar. They have a high acidity.
Yeah.
They have an ingredient, if you look in it, every sports drink has an ingredient called phosphoric acid. And phosphoric acid is just an acid. You know, you're bathing your mouth in acid. And you can see that happening where enamel starts to wear out and come off the teeth eventually.
Wow.
So these are the things that, you know, you're forced to take because you need the nutrition when you're running, but you just got to be very careful. And if you are having it, just try to switch with water right afterwards.
So you run for Urban Athletics.
Yes.
So obviously running became important because Urban Athletics is a serious club. They have members that podium from all fields of life, walk of life, I should say, like yourself, a dentist, and they have physical trainers. And Ivory Bell, I think he's a designer. And Kapia Henry, you know, he makes peanut butter. Very eclectic group. So when did the running become serious, and how did you make the segue into Urban Athletics?
Sure. My first marathon was in dental school. It was a group of us, good friends, and one of us said, oh, why don't we do this marathon at the end of our school year? I'm like, marathon? I don't even run. So I said, sure, let's do it. So there's 6 of us started to train together and got into it. And I turned out to be second best of the 6. So I got into it. And the next year I did it again. And the following year I tried to do it and I got injured. So that was 1990s. So then there was a break in running for me. I did not run. And, you know, it was just concentration of dental career and, you know, didn't put any effort in running. And then I'd say about 5 years ago or so, the resurgence of running started again. I just wanted to get back. I always loved it. I said, I got to get back into it. I joined the running club. I was running on my own, but I said, I need the camaraderie and just to get into it. It wasn't Urban Athletics, another group. I was with them for a year, but I didn't feel like there was that improvement that I was looking for in my running. There wasn't a structured process. So I used to go to the store and had chatted with Jerry McCurry, who's
the Urban Athletics. Which store? The one
up in Madison 92nd.
Okay.
So
the main store.
Yeah. So I met him and I chatted up with him and he said, why don't you come and run with us? And there was Alan, who's another coach. He's like, come on, you'll like it. It's different. We're different. And so I find that Urban Athletics really improved my running. They have a structured plan where twice a week you do these exercises. And if you want coaching, they can do some coaching for the week. And I really feel that I improved drastically joining them. And it's been an amazing journey. Met some really amazing, nice people. And so it's been really good for me. Like I said, I love everyone there. And I set some goals in running and achieved some goals that I had surpassed when I was 25. Just recently did the New York City Marathon. I'm 53, and I did it at an hour and 27 minutes and change, and my best, I think around 20s, I did it around hour and 28 minutes or so. So I feel like
this is the New York City Half Marathon.
The New York City Half Marathon.
Because I was in marathon time. I said, well, we got to say.
Did I say marathon? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is the new superstar.
Yeah, exactly. I really went under 2 hours. So no, it was Brooklyn Half Marathon. Recent one this year, I ran the Brooklyn, and like I said, I beat my half marathon time of age 25 by a minute.
Back in your dental school days, you're better now than you were a student.
Well, I think I could have done better back then. It was just never, there was no structure in my running and at the time, so I just did it. Now it's more focused.
So you're the Urban Athletics, true and blue now.
Yes, for sure.
And they got beautiful uniforms, and they got the great store.
Because I mentioned that I was running when I was younger, 20s, and one of the reasons that the resurgence to run again happened to me is because I had a health scare, and that was in 2006-07. I was misdiagnosed, and at the time they thought I had leukemia.
Oh my gosh.
So I was getting these fevers, constant fevers every day. And it was very painful. And I had just come back from a vacation in Jamaica, so they thought it was probably a bug that I picked up.
Leukemia?
Well, they thought initially it was one of the bugs that
Oh,
they didn't
okay.
know what it was. So they trying to diagnose it. And then one time I got really bad, my fever, and I remember there was a bad snowstorm, and I had to pretty much get a cab in this huge snowstorm to take myself to the hospital.
Emergency room.
And they did a x-ray, and the lady who came in, he goes, I have to say, we believe you have, I believe it says lymphoma, leukemia,
Yeah.
something like that. And my mom was sitting there, and I think my mom was ready to like drop.
Me too.
You know, it was pretty, I had to like resuscitate, like, it's fine, we'll be okay, you know? So it was a very scary time. And I think that kind of scare that you go through your life, it sort of reprocesses everything in your brain differently now. So you're looking at things from a different light. You cherish things differently, and you want to be healthier, you want to be stronger. So that's when I said, and I got to get back into running. I really loved running. So it took me a few years from there. I did different exercises, but to really get healthy. And then I think, like I said, 5 years ago, that's when I said, I'm focusing on running.
And then finally, is there a race goal, a destination run that you're looking forward to?
I signed up for the New York City half marathon that's coming up following year.
2019?
2019. I haven't signed up for too many races. I'm kind of going spurts, and right now I'm just enjoying the process of running and with urban athletics, and no goals in mind. But I think 2019 I will probably race more often. I had the New York City, the Brooklyn half that I did this year. Also, another milestone for me was that Fifth Avenue Mile, which I did it in 5 minutes, 17 seconds, I believe.
That's a great time for almost any age.
Yeah, so I feel like I can keep getting better.
My gosh,
There are some
5:17.
amazing runners in urban athletics, and honestly, I don't think I even come close to what some people in our group do, but I
super enjoy you because I seen the photos, and everybody there has a big smile, and you're right there in the mix. So I think they feel very, very fortunate to have you on their team.
Yes, everybody likes each other, and I think it's a good community.
It is. So on that positive note of community support, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Will. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate you having me.